I designed a booth for my favorite soda brand, and here's what happened. I've been trying to find a healthier soda for ages, and stumbled upon Dalston's. I'm such a big fan of the brand that I reached out to the team, and surprisingly, they actually responded and said they could be joining this year's Taste of London. So I was like, hey, let me design a booth for you. And here's what I did. I've been told by the team that the booth size is roughly 3 meters by 3 meters, and that's it. So given that there's so little constraint, my goal is to keep it fun but not go crazy. I began by reviewing the shape of the booth. Instead of maximizing the entire footprint, I decided to round off the 2 corners. This gives a more welcoming frontage and also corresponds with the shape of Dalston's logo. Given that this is a booth inside a food festival, I think it's important for the booth to stand out amongst its competitors. So instead of having a giant brand logo on top of the booth, I thought it would be better to create something that's intriguing looking, attracting people from afar, spark their curiosity, and attract them to walk towards the booth. Now there obviously needs some structure to hold the top of the booth up, which means that we are going to need some supporting material on the side of the booth. Now this actually works extremely well as the drink menu can be slotted in between the timber studs. So when people walk closer to the booth, they can read the drinks menu on both sides. This also acts as a really good funneling system, as people can order on either side of the booth and then they collect their drinks in the middle portion. Now, to the feature part of the booth. I wanted to use something that still gives a hint that the booth is selling soda, but in a more subtle way. I think using the bottom of the soda can is actually a pretty interesting idea. When these are used repeatedly, the tiling effect actually gives off something that I think looks quite futuristic and somewhat resembles stage lights. It also behaves like a disco ball as it shimmers when sunlight shines onto the bottom of the soda can. Now, given Dalston's history is somewhat related to nightclubs, I think this feature design is quite fitting and fun. Lastly, it's important to let people know who they're buying their drinks from. I've taken some liberty to recreate the logo in a much more three-dimensional way, and now the logo actually looks like this. If you look at it from the side, the hand's placement is directly underneath the drinks menu, which is a direct homage to Dalston's official logo. And there it is, my fresh take on the soda booth design.